I will
Wonderful.
tell her that you are going to. I have told her already that you are
Oh,
going to have a presentation today.
that's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Yes.
Over to Deepesh. You
Yes.
can tell your association with Shantasan and I also and Epic also a little bit.
Yes. Yes. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank you,
So yeah,
Deepesh.
thank you. I'll get started now. So I've done my bachelor's on social work and master's in development management in Madras School of Social Work. Post that, like every individual, uh, so like how we were conditioned, so how I was conditioned by the society, by my parents. I want to get into a high paying job. So I landed up into sales and marketing. I was with abroad studies consultant and then education matters and edtech companies. I was into a high paying job. So during my tenure with an edtech company, when I was returning back from work, I saw a cow in the middle of the road. So it was jerking off really hard. And then I went and inquired about its owner to the nearby shopkeepers. And I somehow found the owner and bought her. So what she did was she mixed cow dung with water and then poured into the cow's mouth. So that time it purely changed my face. And I called all my veterinarian friends. They all when they rushed up, it was like close to 1.5 hours. It died due to indigestion. The cow it died in my hands. So that put me in guilt because before that, half an hour before, I tossed off a plastic wrapper out of my car. So I was that irresponsible. Even though I studied social work, I was not aware of what I'm doing. So my daily actions, I was like, as an individual, if I throw it outside, what is going to happen? So that's how my mindset was like 4 or 5 years back. And this incident put me in guilt, and then I started my plastic research. What are all the types of plastics? So like MLP, hard plastics, soft plastics, and then how long does it take to decompose, and how many cycles does it undergo in recycling? So these all studies I started, and then lockdown came. I would say lockdown was a blessing in disguise for me. I was working and simultaneously focusing on this, and I understood plastic is not the problem. Single-use plastic is the problem. So plastic is one of the finest invention, I would say, but not the single-use plastics, because if plastic wasn't invented, we would have destroyed almost every resource available. So to manufacture the embodied energy and all that, and slowly how to cut down individual level emissions. That is where I focused on. I started selling bamboo toothbrushes. Initially, this happened in 2020, and I dealt with plastic reusables. And post that, I attended a course with Center for Science and Environment, New Delhi, on climate change and sustainability development. Post that, I got a crux of what I need to do. And 2021, I quit my job with the edtech giant, and I started connecting with mentors. So my first mentor was Mr. Indra Kumar from Homex Nora. I went to his place. He took me around his place, took me to his backyard, and showed me all his 25 years of waste into a compost. He told me to get down into it, and then so I thought it was cow dung. That's when I encountered compost in the first place, and I learned composting from him. So it took me 6 months to understand the composting methods and which would be suitable for homes. Initially, I started with a bucket. I drilled holes in it, and then I added all the kitchen waste, collected all the dried leaves in the streets, and then I used it as a layer. And I went through a lot of hurdles. Say, for example, sometimes it became soggy, generated smell, and those trial and errors made me strong. And I like practice all methods of composting, like aerobic, anaerobic, vermicomposting. So with vermicomposting, so basically, I found out that earthworms will not take cooked food, citric waste, and meat. And so basically, I'm a vegan right now. So post that incident, I quit eating meat. Before that, I was a hardcore meat eater. and so my family consumes it still, so that earthworms doesn't take all these home-based cooked, so that vermicomposting is not suitable for homes. And anaerobic composting method will emit hydrogen sulfide and methane, so that again gives you this pungent smell. So again, that will not be suitable for homes. Aerobic will be the right model. So it took me 6 months to understand this, and since I did it for the 6 months, I did a waste audit. So daily I did audit, like per day how much I generate. So for the past 6 months, I generated about 267 kilograms of organic waste. I was in awe, and then so basically I thought my family alone is generating 267 kgs 6 months. So we have diverted that much amount of organic waste getting into the landfill. So what if every household does this? That's when I started. So basically, to grab the attention of my neighbors, I went in. So while collecting dried leaves, I used to create a conversation about why I'm picking all these dried leaves. So again, in a span of 3 months, I connected with 20 households. So out of this 20 households, I convinced two people to compost. So they didn't have their kitchen garden and all that. Even I didn't. I don't have it till date. So I told them to create compost out of it, how beneficial it is, and then creating a compost and dropping off into the neighborhood trees. And they also felt the essence of it. And I wanted to take it to everyone. And that's how I went into this organization called Daily Dump. I went as a customer and then I partnered with them. And till date, slowly, it's been 3 years since I started. Uh, till date, I would have helped around 312 families to compost. So through this, we divert about 12,000 kilograms of kitchen waste entering the landfills every month. And I did this carbon study. So basically, if you see 1 kilograms of kitchen waste is produced by an average family size of 4 people. So that is emitting about 7.7 kilograms of carbon dioxide. And when this is sent to the landfill, it is decomposing anaerobically without the presence of oxygen. So by that time, it is emitting methane. So that is like 21 times more potential than carbon dioxide. So if you take the current car, so we talk about car pollution, bike pollution, and all that. So right now, if you take a car, brand new car, it emits about 120 grams of CO2 per kilometer. So imagine if we compare these two scenarios. So an average family of 4 people is like driving a car 200 kilometers per day. So that much amount of emission is being caused per day per household. So this is contributing a lot towards climate change. And when I started, I went and interacted with all the sanitation workers and all that. So basically, the problem they go through. So they don't have proper tools to segregate. Till date, segregation is not successful in Chennai because it has been mandated segregation, but still, here we generate about 6,000 plus tons per day, all mixed waste, because lot of ins and out. People mindset is like out of sight, out of mind. So they just want to get the waste out of their homes, but they don't realize that it stays around our earth. Even though if you send it outside your home, outside your street, outside the state, country, wherever you send it out, it stays in our earth and it is emitting. That is not been realized. So these rat pickers, when they segregate their waste, they go through hazardous diseases because of the food waste mixed up with plastic. It emits fumes, and sometimes people throw all these glass pieces. So due to glass picking, they bleed a lot. And again, sanitary waste is not sorted. So these kind of practices is completely creating harm. So instead of focusing on a large scale, I tapped all the individual households. That's how I started. And till date, I told you, I've helped about 312 families. Yes, so this is how my journey is going on till date. And I would like to present about how we can sort as an individual. I'll share my screen now. Can you all see my screen? Uh, Hello?
Yes, we can.
Am I audible?
Yes, we
Yes, you
can.
can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, okay, done. One. So Nilayaan is the organization I've started. It has been 3 years since I started. So Nilayaan means Nilayaan adu, sustainable in Tamil. So I created this term because people whomsoever practices Nilayana things can be called as Nilayan. So I'm on journey towards creating more Nilayans. Yes. So basically, I want to enlighten all the people on waste management and sustainability development and create a lifestyle that ends all the practices of unsustainable consumption, because consumption is huge now. We're all focusing on things, buying things, loading things. But I would say, so my life vision is I want to fit all my things in a suitcase. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, I was into fast fashion. So basically, I lived a very materialistic lifestyle back then. I wanted to, so I always wanted to fit inside society. So that I wanted to wear branded clothes, keep buying things. So even if I feel low, I want to go to a mall, buy a new thing, new dress, new watch. So this is how my lifestyle was. So it was all social excellence created by media, ads. So I realized it later, and then right now I have only 6 sets of clothes, and then I only wear naturally dyed clothes. I only get it from Tula, so it's an organization. Hope you all know about it. It's run by Mr. Anand too. So they all focus on fat rate, naturally dyed. Yes. So this is our vision and mission. So we raise awareness, make people conscious and responsible on their consumption, and also interlink climate change, how it is, how our consumption is driving towards climate change, and how it is contributing towards our society. So how we can mitigate it as an individual. So that's how my vision is going on, and so this is the cycle. So if you could see this in a garbage bag, 60% of the waste generated is organic waste, and 20% of the waste is recyclable. 60% comprises of vegetable peels, fruit peels, our household, like one after we sweep, the dust comes out of it, and flower waste. So these are all 60%. 20% is recyclable waste, plastics, paper, milk packets, and then so these are all the daily waste generations of recyclable waste. That is contributes about 20%. 10% is toxic. That is e-waste. So this is generated monthly once or 3 months once. So that's contributes about toxic waste. This 10% of waste, that is rejects. So this is like sanitary waste, and then medical waste, syringes. So all these things. So for this 10% of waste only, landfill was created. But since we don't segregate all the waste, all the 90% of the waste is ending up in landfill. So because we don't segregate, and it mixes up, creates lot of fumes, emissions, and most of our landfills are created in our water bodies. If you could see this in Chennai, it's opposite to this marshland, Pallikalle marshland. Opposite, you could see a beautiful marshland with birds and all that, different species of birds. You could spot about at least 20 varieties of birds, 20 species of birds over there, from pelicans, herons, cormorants, and all that. Since we are also spoiling our landscapes because of this waste generation, so how if we sort all the 60% at source, you would only give 10% of the recyclable waste to the sanitation workers and segregate waste into two categories, that is rejects and recyclable. So right now we have some 5 categories of waste, and when you segregate, even if you segregate and give it in Chennai, the worst part is the sanitation workers in the end is mixing up everything. because there is lack of awareness. So it's run by two monopolies here, Arbesar Sumit and Ramke groups. So the awareness is lacking to the sanitation workers itself. And this is what I told you. 2 kgs of kitchen waste is equivalent to driving a car about 200 kilometers. So that much emission is being caused per day per household. So to begin with composting at home, without segregation, it is not at all possible. You need to segregate the waste. Organic waste goes inside the compost bin. Recyclable waste and rejects alone should be sent out to the sanitation workers. So he doesn't have to segregate because he don't have to do it with his bare hands. So he just collect all the recyclable waste and reject waste separately, and that will also be properly recovered in the end source. So if we segregate. So why I started in a compost bin model is because in traditional method we used to dig holes and then recompost. Right now, city people, we all live in apartments, so space is a constraint. So that's how I started the product based thing. So I wanted to give it on a balcony space, kitchen led space, and even in terrace you can compost. So that's how my models have been brought up. I'll show you all the models in the end. So composting is basically 80% reduction in volume. So if you see waste, so all the kitchen waste, it's like 70%, 70 to 80% moisture and 20% matter, 20 to 30% matter. So when you add kitchen waste, so it is basically nitrogen. You need to layer cocoa peat on top of it or dried leaves. That is carbon. So to absorb all the moisture level. So when it absorbs all the moisture, so it creates fungus to larvae, larvae to maggots. So those maggots will break down all the kitchen waste and convert into a compost like this. So it takes about 45 days, and the maggots life cycle is like it's some 20% of it survives and uh, turns out to be a black soldier fly and flies away, and rest of it lifespan is about 20 to 25 days. It dies inside the compost bin itself because 80% heat is being generated during the composting process. So by the time organisms survive, and due to moisture, certain organisms they also get composted. So an entire ecosystem forms during composting. So these are all the products I deal with. So this is Kamba, you all know. So it is invented by Poonam. So right now she's no more. She was my mentor, Poonam. So Poonam basically she taught me everything since 2021, 2021. So yeah, post that. Yeah, right now I'm doing whatever she had taught me. Yes. So these are all the composters I deal with right now. So home composters, we have terracotta and plastics, and you could see these community models. So this we give it for apartments, households, and then large families, and then hotels, restaurants, industries, corporates, hospitals, resorts, anywhere where there is food waste is generated, we will help them convert it at source itself, because we believe you can solve the issue only at source. If you send it outside, it gets piled up. Sending it to another recovering facility, that creates huge pollution, haulage, lot of mess. So when you compost it at source, lot of embodied energy is saved. So that's how we compost it using this composter. We call it the Gaia. This takes in 18 to 20 kgs of kitchen waste per day, and it composts within 21 days. Post the session, I'll share all the details in the group. And we also support certain artisans. So coconut shell cannot be composted. So instead, we give it to artisans, upcycle them into beautiful bowls like this, candle holders, and all those zero waste stuffs. And we also do this thing called zero waste events. So right now, if you see celebrations, any celebrations you take, there is a lot of single-use plastic waste generated, starting from decor. And then right now, plastic bottles has become a trend. Any meeting you go, even if there is 10% in the room, there will be 10 to 20 disposables given. So as per my experience on organizing events and gathering of 30 people. They are generating about 100 plus plastic water bottles because they all give 250 ml plastic bottles. They will have one sip and throw it off. That's it. They will keep it away and they will move on to the next thing. So what we do here is we will evaluate before the event what kind of waste is generated. We'll do an assessment and we'll give them alternatives. Instead of plastic water bottles, we will give a refill station and give them steel glasses. If you want, you can go refill and drink it. So that's how it was. And we will keep different types of bins: plastic separately, paper separately, and glass and food waste separately. So we will segregate the waste at source, recyclable separately, food waste separately. And in the end of the session, so we will convert food waste into compost, and recyclable waste will be sent to different aggregators. And as well as when we do even, we also do an impact assessment. How many kilograms of waste is generated with this number of audience, and how many kgs is being composted, and through this what kind of equivalent energy is being saved, and what kind of equivalent carbon emission is being curbed. So it is equivalent to this many tree planted, this much amount of vehicles thrown out of the road. So we'll correlate and show them the stuff. And we did this Harris Jairaj concert. So we managed 20,000 plus audience over there. This was our last big event. So we saved about 300 kilograms of mixed waste ending up in landfills. So there were about 150 kgs of plastic bottles alone. We partnered with this organization called Spreeco. So they helped us and then they collected all the plastic waste. And then compostable waste has been composted with the help of Namavuru Foundation. Yeah. And yeah, so this was the impact I did since 2021. So I helped around 312 families, I told right now. So through that, every month 11,000 plus kilograms of organic waste is saved every month, and through that 1,80,000 kilograms of carbon dioxide plus is being saved from the atmosphere, going into the atmosphere through composting and recycling. Yes. So these are all the composters I have given. So if you see, these are all the home composters, and these are all the community composters. This is for an apartment, this is for an banquet space, and this is in a school called KC High, and this is in a restaurant called Ecolife. It's a vegan restaurant. Yeah. So sustainable development goals we focus on. So through clean sanitation, so water is being saved, good health and well-being, sustainable cities and communities, consumption is responsible. We are helping people to take climate action at source, and life on land is being regenerated. Yeah, these are all the lines. So together we all can regenerate our earth. Yes. So far this is my journey, and I happened to meet my mentor, Miss Shantashila Nair, last year. So we connected in terms. So I was part of this initiative called Community Garden in Adayar. It was on the face of shutdown because those people wanted to commercialize the space. So in this community garden, what we did was we collectively bought about.
Deepesh is talking.
Yes. Yes. Hello. Yes.
No, you continue, Deepesh, you continue.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So in this community garden, we collectively bought about 40 plus individuals. We taught them what kind of plant species are there, what are all the native species you can grow in the terrace, and then if you have a land space, how you can do it. So it was just a pro bono thing. So every Saturday, everyone will gather, and then in that community space, we grow different kinds of fruits, herbs, and then like greens. So these are all the species we have grown there. So unfortunately, they all wiped out it. So by the time my friend Samyukta, we all reached out to ma'am, Shantashila ma'am, So again, end of the day, they commercialized the space. That's how I met her, and then I was invited, and then I went to her space. So Epic is all about nature-based solutions. So Miyawaki forest planting is there, and then waste to biogas, sustainable architecture, and then eco sanitation, composting toilets, and composting, vegetable waste management. That area has been given to me. I'm very much honored about it to keep a space. Or you can all visit sometime Epic, and we focus on permaculture. So right now we are focusing on nature-based farming over there. We cultivate azola, and there is a fishery, and it's a complete sustainable space in a half-acre farm where all sustainable models, nature-based models, has been showcased over there, which can be implemented in various areas. So we all believe that there is no such thing called waste in nature. It's all our human consumption which has created nature. Nature has its own way of dealing its own resource. We couldn't say it's a waste. Say for example, when a bird eats a fruit from one tree, it drops out in some other place, and that seed is again grown into a plant tree. So this is how nature cycle has been regenerated. But we humans have created a mess by increasing our consumption patterns. As I told you, we are buying more and more and polluting more and more, and we are building more and more still, and creating a lot of emissions. So there are so many nature-based solutions which can be focused on. So that is where Epic is a live model where everyone can see to it and adapt it at household level and community level. Yes.
Deepesh, can you switch on the video also for just for a look, please?
Yes.
Can switch on the video.
I've switched it on. Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
I'm not
Yes,
a
we
question
can see.
you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes. So I believe that. So say for example, we humans have different individualisms, and there are a lot of species in Earth. The only way forward is to coexist with every other being and live in harmony with nature. That's the only way forward, which I believe. Because if you see in nature, uh, there is always a purpose. So I learned this thing. I was surprised. So I also work with an ex-DRDO scientist, Dr. Harinath Kasiganesan. So right now he's doing nature-based farming. So he also has a 2-acre space. So I used to go for nature walks along with him. I was surprised to learn about termites. So if you think about termites, anyone in the room, can you say how termite is beneficial for our environment? What do you think about termites, or else? What is the first thing comes into your mind when you think about termites?
Is it that they eat plastics?
Okay. No. So
Actually, I did composting, so the termites helped in composting the waste faster.
decomposition, yes. So if you ask this to a city person, like a city person, they will say like it will break down all our houses. It will chop all the wood off. So termites are really harmful for the environment. That's how they say. But termites, so what they do is the termite mound. If you see, they don't have eyes. They carry a geomagnetic energy in them. through geomagnetic field. They use that as a torch, and then they build the termite mound. If you see a lot of temples, they have termite mounds, and we call it snake mounds right now. Yeah. So what happens? The termite mound, it releases a geomagnetic energy. So every life forms attracts towards it, from the soil organisms, birds. So everything attracts over there. So that space creates a mini ecosystem. So when every life form attracts, the soil is regenerated, and then the soil uh, termites, they basically aerate the soil, and they also live in different families like ants. Yes, so this is what termites is. I was surprised to learn about this. So when he was building his farm, there was a termite activity. So he wanted to construct a space over there. He saw a termite activity over there, and then he didn't want to disturb that space, and he shifted its space. So he shifted into a different space to build his own house kind of thing. And right now he is resonating with termites every time he go. So that's how important is a termite. So without a termite, without pollinators, say for example, bees as in I don't mean honeybees, not just honeybees. There are about 20,000 different species of bees. We only talk about bees. I would say growing only honeybees will also be a problem, because their species is dominating. Because again, honeybees are for human consumption, I would say. So when their species is dominating, other bee species are declining in rates. So the pollination is also affected. We should not grow only honeybees. So we should like grow all the bee species. For that, you need to grow wild plants. Even hummingbirds are pollinators, bats are pollinators. We have different varieties of pollinators. So if you see, nature is working on regenerating nature. Every other species in this planet is working on regenerating the earth, except humans. We have become more human centric than nature centric. We think like this whole earth is being provided for humans. No, that's not the truth. We are a part of nature. We are not superior to it. We think we are superior to nature, but we are just a minute part of nature. We should realize this, and then as I told you, we need to work in harmony with every other species to regenerate earth. I believe we all can together regenerate the earth. Yes. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Vasudevji. Yes. I hope you learned something, and then any doubts you can ask me now.
Deepesh, you are not told your parents have not yet reconciled with you.
That point. Okay. Yeah. Yes, my parents. Yes, they still don't support me. Not in terms of supporting. Yes, they support me, but still they don't understand it yet. What I'm doing, they're against what I'm doing, because like I would say every other city parent, they're also conditioned. So like you need to get into a school, go to a good institution, get into a good job, work into a high paying job, and then again you build your home, you get a house, you get a car. So that's how lifestyle should be led, a materialistic lifestyle. So that's how they think. But I'm more connected to nature. Again, every day I face this. What am I doing? And so they question my standard of living, and slowly I'm trying to make them understand. Yeah, I hope they'll very soon understand this. But for that sake, I will never give up on what I'm doing, because I believe as an individual I need to take action, and my individual action is impacting many lives. That's how it's going on. Yes. Yes, Vasuji.
Yeah, very good, very good. Now group members can react, or they can give their reflections. Yeah.
Any questions?
Please go ahead.
I'm sorry, your voice is not audible.
Deepesh, congratulations, and
Thank
I
you.
mean it's kudos to you I'd like to add a few things which you observed.
Yes.
I find when we are staying in Kerala, and it's in a place which is a small municipality called as Chalakudi municipality.
Okay.
And these people have made a program, and this has been going on for the past 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
What they do is we have about 31 blocks
Okay.
in wards, and they collect plastic waste and other waste on that particular date. So, for example, ours is 25th block award, so they collect the waste on 25th. We have to give them some money, and it's over. So about 40 rupees, yes, 40 rupees is to be given, and they take it. They, in fact, tell us just 2 or 3 days before that this day we are going to take also the old bags, shoes, or maybe glass waste, broken glasses. In fact, they tell old clothes which are usable, they take them. So this is how it's going on. And as far as the organic waste is concerned, we have a small plot. It's about 8 cents plot, and we have a corner which is about say 6 by 6 feet.
Okay.
What we do is we put our organic waste there, and surprisingly, it becomes food to earthworms. We had very few earthworms, but once we started, we came in 2020 during the COVID time.
Okay.
And then we have quite a good population of these earthworms. They convert the waste, organic waste, into very good fertilizer.
Yes.
Second thing which I appreciated was this coexistence.
Good.
You see, I think it's about 10 or 15 years back, we started the habit of putting some rice and some food for the crows. We had fortunately, we've been living earlier. We were in Rajasthan. We had plenty of place for them, crows. But in cities, I think I do not know whether it's possible. Here also, we give them food. And once it so happened that was felt that the dal had, because it's humid atmosphere and it was during summer, the dal got spoiled.
Okay.
So she put it in that corner. So the crows literally communicate with her and me. If they are thirsty, they ask for water like that.
Yeah.
So they complained that we can eat this. They started going and eating that dal, waste dal. And there's one very interesting thing which happened, which is brought to the notice through these news media. There is a wild tusker by name Padayappa in Idiki district. And it seems these people who are vegetable vendors and vegetable growers, whatever waste they have, they put it on in a spot. And this Padayappa, which has got huge tusks, he comes there without disturbing them because he has become old. Probably he wants softer food. He comes, fills his stomach, and then goes off.
Oh.
And there's no disturbance.
Correct.
I mean, he doesn't disturb, though people were scared when he started coming first. And that's how things are going on. And that way, Kerala is quite enlightened. But I'm afraid cities like Cochin, Ernakulam, Trivandrum, this problem cannot be solved. And the very unfortunate thing is, throughout Kerala, there is no plastic. But by the side of these railway lines, it's horrible. All these trains, which supply food, they they dump the waste by the side of the railways, and these people have a lot of problems. So, as you rightly said, that I think time has come for us to educate. First of all, we should educate ourselves, and then later on, maybe through our life, as you are doing, educate others. Because if you become an example, then only people will appreciate. So it's really wonderful work. And just like Pankaj Agarwal, I welcome you to our group with all my heart, and wonderful it is. So, God bless you. Actually, we are not able to participate because probably of our age, but youngsters like you have a long way to go, and I'm sure that we'll succeed one day or the other to sort of generate less waste and become more creative, coexist, and according to our need, we use it. That's very good. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And for the railway thing you told, the only solution is the railway should talk to the vendors. There are a lot of alternatives available. Even now, the plastic, single-use plastic is banned in 2018. But still, if you travel in railways, you see all single-use spoons and then single-use plates, all plastics is being served. They can easily shift it towards, say, Bagas is available right now in packaging containers which holds moisture up to 2 days. So there are a lot of other alternatives which has come, but still they work on profit motive, so nothing can be done. They also think about cost cutting. So through these things, they wanted to minimize steps. But again, they are not charging less to the consumers as well. So railways should take initiative before selecting vendors. They need to give these kind of provisions to the vendors so that they adapt towards it. And slowly people also should shift. And if you, whenever I travel a lot, at least in a year, I travel solo. And then my first solo trip was to Kanyakumari. I was talking to Vasudevji last time before I started Nilayaan. So whenever I travel, I carry my own straw. I carry a glass tumbler. I carry a tiffin box so that I don't generate no waste. And then I carry my reusable water bottle. I refill it wherever I go. And the straws again, whenever I go to a juice shop or something, I use my own straws. And again, tiffin box, whenever I want to take away some food, I will tell the person not to give it on his plastic wrap or even any wraps. Even it's sustainable wraps, don't give it. I give my tiffin box to him so that he will fill it in that. And whenever I have some black coffee, so I'm a vegan, so I don't take any animal-based products. So when I have some black coffee or something, I give my glass tumbler to the vendor. Everyone will be surprised seeing me. But these methods were practiced by us back then. So right now, convenience made a shift towards all kind of single-use thing, I would say, which is creating a lot of problem. Yeah, it's on individual level. When individuals be responsible on their consumption, automatically the production will also gets responsible. Yes.
Deepesh, in Kanyakumari, we don't use straw. We use the papaya tree,
Papaya tree. Yes.
that stem is always hollow.
Okay.
So we cut it because we have plenty of papaya trees.
Papaya tree. Oh, that's good.
People are very happy to see a organic straw. They enjoy like anything.
Okay.
So you can also start thinking of it because
Yes.
it will remain, in your bag also for a long time.
Yes, we can do that.
That is hard, quite hard. Okay.
Yeah. And the best
Over
way
to
is
others.
to have it rawly, without any
Yeah.
straw or something.
Yeah. Yeah, other members can.
Yes. Any questions?
वैतरणी बोलिए.
Sanjay.
Pranam, I saw hand of Professor Banerjee sir. Please, you begin with that. Then thereafter I'll take. Yes.
Any question? Yes, Sanjay ji.
Sanjay, you are mute. We can't hear you.
So maybe Maitaji can talk now. Later, Professor can.
Yeah, Pranam. Thank you very much, Sri Deepesh. It was really fascinating as well as enlightening also. And my personal experience goes that such kind of thing is perhaps very near to the ideal situation. The way you have conducted the task and the way you have standardized it, that makes a very good best practices manual. Giving my personal experience, having in policy domain in Government of India for more than 3 decades, I have seen that our almost all proposals for waste utilization, waste to energy generation could not succeed due to various reasons. I'll start way back in 1980, 84, 85. One project in Timarpur in Delhi was taken up just whereby the waste was segregated, and thereafter it was assumed that time that the waste will be sufficient to generate 1 or 2 megawatt of energy, and a large number of problem of Delhi for the waste disposal will be solved. But the issue came that the kind of waste was theoretically predicted, and what kind of waste was received at the plant size was huge difference. That was as per the European standard. They were saying that every kg will have around 1,500 kilocalories of this waste energy will be there, but somehow it remained only 600 or 500 kilocalorie per kg that time. And the reason which was explained later, because this plant made with great failure, never worked at optimal capacity, and the one of the reason for the waste was primarily mentioned that most of the waste which is combustible is being picked by the rag pickers, and it is recycled in different format, different places. That was there. Another project which was taken up in Lucknow with the help of the United Nations Global Environment Facility Program, it was a huge plant, around 1.5 megawatt, if I'm not wrong, capacity, whereby all the vegetable waste and all the liquid waste was processed through anaerobic process, and that gas was supposed to be used for generation energy.
Biogas.
That was there. But after operation of 1 year or so, it stopped due to various reasons, including availability of the waste, the quality and the standardization of waste was the another issue. It's both the large scale application of waste for energy generation. These two plants were big lessons, and then there was a change in strategy. If anybody from Pune, they know, they must be, they can tell me. There was another model which was developed in Pune, where some of the localities, they segregated the waste and the generation of biogas from the combustible waste, and rest of the is picked up for the various utilizations. And for some time, because I have seen some of these projects working, that for some time it worked very well. They generated energy, gas, and work.
Yeah.
But after some time, it lost the scene, primarily due to the viability of these operations for various reasons. My takeaway on this from these national experiences is that two kind of things are there. First of all, it is what you said, that conviction that waste has to be utilized its optimal capacity, number one, and secondly, the best practices manual for everybody, and they should do it by conviction, not by law or anything. Then only then these programs can succeed. That much I feel very strongly. Secondly, this should come in our habit. How it will come in our habit, that particularly if we catch the young, it gives me a lot of pleasure to see you and your photo, that a young boy of your age is moving ahead in a big way in this moment. So making it mass movement, whatsoever is possible to do it, including adding such things in the curricula for primary level, for middle level, and up to 12th standard. Because this is the time when really the character building and what is called in Hindi, that is sanskar, that we have to do this with conviction, get developed.
Yes.
So my strong feeling is that if we can make some good material which can become part of the pedagogy or curriculum for up to primary, media, this junior level and secondary schools, that would be a great service to the nation, that I feel.
True.
My experience since last 3 years, initially when I came to this part of the country from a big city, having kitchen waste and other managing was a real issue with me, that, and I decided to put it somewhere and do some these things. But within 4 or 5 months, I realized that to create a complete ecosystem, I should have a cow. So
Okay.
I
Yeah,
got a
that's
6-month-old cow, and now it is more than 2 years, more than 2.5 years. Around my cow is around 2 months, 2 year and 8 9 months. It makes a complete recycling that way.
yes.
Waste, if it is not touched, it should be clean, and clean food waste always used by the cow in very
Mm,
optimal manner.
yes.
Making all the compost from the cow waste, that makes a good sense. And secondly, segregate the waste of which is organic, not liquid, another,
Mm,
at a separate place, and then making bundles of it properly and giving it for combustion for every 3 4 months.
mm.
I used that kind of exercise, and I found it very effective that way. So these are the things. But anyway, I feel that this is the great experience, and its videos and this presentation should be widely spread as much as possible. And this again vindicates our need for a website which is mentioned all and over. I was going through the concept note also. So these things are inspiration and learning lesson for us also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prakash. Grateful. So yes, as you said, cows. The first priority is to feed the animals. As I told you, there is no such thing called waste in nature. So the leftover foods should be given to the cows first, and then only second step should be composting. So that's how we need to do it. And as you said, one more thing, the habit. So we need to create a habit to all the individuals. So if you see, I would like to give an analogy. Um, so basically, if you see, on a day-to-day basis, we take care of all our chores. Say for example, if there is a stain in your shirt, you clean it. You take responsibility over it. And then if you feel hungry, you cook, you eat it. Likewise, when you generate a waste, you need to take responsibility as an individual, and you need to responsibly solve it. So we all should take responsibility of our own waste generation. Likewise, a habit should be created. So this would create a lot of impact in moving forward. And you, so you are a pioneer in waste. I would say waste management, since you do it, as you said, 1980s. Since the 1980s. Right now, since we have, if you take a city structure, we have too many high-rise buildings, and it has been mandated for apartments more than consisting of 50 households. They need to manage their own waste at source. So it has been mandated. But right now, since waste management is privatized, there are a lot of waste vendors. Based on my experience, I would have stepped into some 100 apartments, out of which I've convinced about 2 apartments to compost. So 2% is the conversion rate. Rest of the apartments, what they say is, they pay fee, which is 15,000 rupees plus a month to all the private waste vendors. So they have this thing called landfill fee. So they pay it, and I would say it's a bribe. When you introduced a provision saying you need to manage your own waste at source, and again giving private vendors money to collect all the waste. When they collect all the waste, they are not segregating. And certain apartments have this thing called incinerators, waste incinerators. So they are burning all the waste. So that is the OWC mission, they say it. So OWC mission is basically creates heat artificially through electricity, and again electricity is the highest emitter. And when you burn all the waste and convert it into ash within 24 hours, all the organic matter dies inside, and again they store it for another month if they want to use it on the fields, adding bacteria onto it, and then only they will use it. So it's like immediately out of sight. So that's what many high-rise buildings needed. But again, in an organic way, uh, we can't do it for large-scale level. Say for example, if it's 1,000 households and then 2,000 households, high-rise buildings are there. So for them, the way to convert waste would be through biogas generation, as you said. biogas is a wonderful thing. And then right now there is waste to CNG. There are a lot of initiatives. So those things can be done for large scale level high-rise buildings. But again, as I said, these people are paying some fees to the private vendors to get the waste collected. Instead of doing that, they can manage it. Again, I've showed them the return of investment as well. When they are ready to spend about say 15,000 rupees to 20,000 rupees a month, so they are almost spending more than how to tell.
Deepesh, very good. Actually, the
Yes.
subject is very big.
Huh.
Actually, I wanted to ask, with that will end.
Yes.
Ji, please ask the question. You have raised the hand.
Okay.
Okay, namaste Deepesh ji. Wonderful.
Namaste, Palki.
Yeah, actually, wonderful initiative, and I completely agree that. But it's like a mindset transforming mission in a way. So in Pune, there is one of my friend has started one initiative that he actually went through all this.
Okay.
He started with individual, person level equipments to assist the things.
Okay.
Then now he has designed one solution for collecting from societies, and they have integrated farmers. So on farm site they do the composting, segregation and composting, and farmers get the compost as their contribution. They have to share a land for having this composting done. So that is another model kind of for large level things, that the farmers near the city, they actually give the land and maybe electricity if required, like for if they are designing a rotating pits or something like that, and they get the compost at the farms. And also they also get the opportunity to share their produce. Suppose they are doing organic farming with the societies. So in a way, the things come into the food cycle and way back. Yeah. So
Great.
just wanted to share that.
Yes, that's great. So this is how like we need to come as a community and do it. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a great example. Yes.
But very inspiring sharing, and thanks a lot.
Thank you, Palki. Grateful.
Sanjay ji is there still? Sanjay ji, want to share?
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
thank you. And Deepesh ji, congratulations. It's a wonderful activity that you are doing.
Thank you.
One thing, there are two things that I wanted to suggest. One is that on the railway, compartments thing, once we had made a suggestion that the waste bins which are there in each compartment is too small to carry whatever, food waste and other plates, etc. there. So, the area where two compartments are joined together, in that area, they can keep a larger sort of a plastic basket sort of a thing, and people can dump their waste into that one. And in major stations where the trains stop, there this should be emptied, and empty sort of a big thing should be put in there. So if this thing can be taken to the railways, sometime back, many years back, we made this suggestion, and compartment did it, and then it was correct. This is one thing that I thought I would share with the group. The other thing that I have in my mind is that, my daughter, she lives in some kind of an apartment house in Bangalore. Now, is there a solution? And there also, this garbage collectors, they come and they collect all the garbage. They have got segregation at source, because they put all the organic waste into one bucket, and all non-organic waste in plastic recycling and other things. So that source segregation is happening within the complex. Now, after that, what happens, I do not know. But what I am asking is, and they have got 72 plus 72, that 144 flats in that complex. So, is there a solution where instead of giving it to the waste handlers, can they do it some kind of composting in-house within the complex? Is that possible?
Yes, yes. I do it for so say for example in Chennai I've given it to 3 apartments. One such apartment is Olympia Panache. They are 120 families. We have given 4 community composters over there. Since they segregate, it is very easier for them to compost. So this occupies only 1 square meter of space. They can add all their segregated organic matter, that is kitchen waste, separately and convert it into a compost within 21 days. And they can use it for their own garden. Yes.
Okay, so I will pass on this information to her
Sure.
and let us see how it goes. So at least one more implementation can happen in Bangalore.
Yes.
Other thing is that I live on a campus, very large university campus. We live, and in our campus we do segregation at home, and we deposit the segregated waste, all those 4 categories separately, and then there is a collection system, and they take it and they recycle the whole thing that is possible. Organic waste, what they do, I'm not very sure, but I will try to figure out what they're doing, and if necessary, I'll reach out to you so that we can start composting. We are doing some kind of a composting that I know, but how much is effective, etc., I'll have to study, and then I'll get back to you and figure out how we can implement that into our system.
Yes.
And the final thing is that my son, he is with Zoho, and they have to attend several events all over the country. And in these events, if it can be connected with your organization so that you could possibly reach out to those event management people and see how they can optimize their, whatever they are
Related in the events. Yes.
so I try to make these 2 connections, one with my daughter and with my son. And congratulations, and I appreciate your conviction, and that is the word. We should be convinced, and you have resistance within your own family, but in spite of that, you are doing, and hearty congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Grateful for it.
Deepesh, thanks a lot. Please try to attend the Sunday meeting as and when possible.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So once there is valuable, let's raise his hands.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
quickly finish. Yeah, a couple of minutes. Okay. Yeah, actually I joined little late, so but then I was just listening to the last 15-20 minutes of what Deepesh was saying. So congratulations, Deepesh, on your work.
Thank you so much.
And I could relate to it because 3-4 weeks back when I presented what I am doing in my own way in this meeting. So I am able to relate it to the composting that I was doing 2 years back. Okay, so I am saying 2 years back because it was taking me at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes per day to get the dry waste collected and then mix it with the kitchen waste and then get this completed on a daily basis. So the couple of things that I felt was okay. It was taking around 15 to 30 minutes per day. I need to spend that time, and if I leave it, say for especially in my place where there used to be good amount of rain also, getting dry leaves is sometimes difficult, and my composting takes around 6 months of time on an average. Okay. So I saw or I heard that I think you have some mission or something which gives us composting within 21 days or something. So probably maybe I would like to explore that. I'll get in touch with you later.
Yes.
Yeah,
So basically, dried leaves, as you said, it is not available all over the year. So alternative towards it is cocoa peat or sawdust. That is available everywhere in the market, and we also give it.
Okay.
So cocoa peat can be any carbon formulation should be used. The key is to observe the moisture. If you observe the moisture, it will start to decompose. And why it is taking so much of time is because the pile would be dry. Again, you shouldn't observe too much of moisture. The moisture should be balanced so that the microorganisms will be present in the pile, and then it will break down the matter. Yeah.
Right. In fact, I was using paper also, like our
paper again. It is harmful because paper goes through a lot of chemical processes, so that might affect the organisms. So it is better to go with cocoa peat. In cocoa peat as well, there are a lot of electrical conductivities. Dried leaves is the natural source. Cocoa peat, you can go for they say it low EC, low electrical conductivity cocoa peats. So that would be beneficial for the organisms.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.